Good morning, my loves. Happy Saturday. It is about 5:15 in the morning. It's early. People tease me and say, well, why don't you sleep in? My gosh. Well, I'm used to getting up at 4. I always get up at 4. So it's just a me thing. Today, I'm going to piss some people off. I'll tell you that right now. We are talking about laziness. I know. No topic is off limits. We are talking laziness. And we're going to talk about laziness from lazy parenting, lazy kids, lazy adults in all aspects of life. Get your coffee or whatever, your smoothie, whatever works for you. Sit down and listen. This might be interesting. It may not apply to you. If it doesn't apply to you, I bet you know somebody it will apply to and you can share it with them. Ready? We all know lazy people. They're in our lives. We work with them. They're neighbors, and it drives me batty. I am very industrious. I'm a very driven person. I love my job. I love what I do. I get excited about life. Other people don't. So we're going to start with parenting. When, a lot of people could care less if they're pregnant, if they're not pregnant. I talked to a coworker yesterday when I was leaving the office, and she's due very soon. She's so excited. This is her first, and she wants to be the best mom ever. She will be. I mean, she is just adorable, and I can't wait to see the baby. And she's a very hard worker. She's going to be an excellent mom. And I wish there were more people like this that were excited about their pregnancies instead of, oh, yeah, whatever. They're still smoking. They're still drinking. They may not keep the OB appointments. For the guys, or partners, I should say, they may or may not go with them to the OB appointments. Yeah, whatever. Then the baby comes. They will do the mandatory photos. They may or may not attend the birth. Yeah, whatever. That's it. When the baby comes home, when they are feeding the baby, we're talking a newborn, an itty-bitty tiny newborn, they're not engaging with the child. Talk to the baby. This is your one-on-one. I don't care if you're bottle feeding or breastfeeding. This is your time to bond with that child. Talk to them about music in your day and just let them hear your voice and connect instead of having the game on, having your friends on speakerphone, ignoring the child. Because parents do that every day. The child gets older. It's, oh, well, go play. That's nice, go play. Yeah, I see it, go play. I don't have time to talk to you right now, go play. And one thing that just pisses me off is if there are older siblings. Hey, would you take care of bathing your brother, your sister? Would you feed them? Would you change them? I mean, once in a while, it's great to have them help out. But who's the parent here? I have personally known families that the parents work. Most parents do nowadays. And the child will come home from school, and we're talking a 7-year-old, 7-year-old will come home from school and be expected to start the laundry and start dinner. 6 or 7 years old, coming home and doing the housework and starting dinner. No, because mom comes home. Oh, I've had a bad day. I'm exhausted. I have a headache. I have to lay down. Who's the parent here? It's one thing to have your child help. I think it's great to have kids help around the house. So nothing wrong with saying, can you take the ground beef out of the freezer, the ground turkey out of the freezer, or, you can start tearing up the lettuce for the salad if the child really wants to help. You can sort the dirty clothes. You can take clothes out of the dryer, but do not expect your child to be the parent to you or your family. That pisses me off. That is lazy parenting. If you're that exhausted when you come home from work and you're physically sick, you need to see a physician and find out what's going on. Do not expect your child to be your parent. Stop. That's just, And having older kids parent younger kids, it's okay for them to help, for them to be role models and mentors. But come on, you're the parent, be the parent. It's not their job to raise the kids. You had the child, it's your responsibility, not theirs. That child is entitled to a child's life. All kids should learn responsibility. Once they master walking, they can start learning to pick up toys and put them in the toy box. That's fine. When they're a little older, they can learn to put dirty clothes in the hamper. By the time they're 4, they should be attempting to make their bed and pick up their room. Maybe take their dish from the table to the cabinet or to the countertop or to the dishwasher to help. That's great. They can help do a little housework, attempt to help fold clothes. They don't know what they're doing, but they're trying, and that's what counts. They want to feel helpful and useful and like they're of value to you, and that's great. Let them. But do not expect them to be the parent. It's not their house, it's your house. You're the mama, you're the daddy, you're the caregiver. It's not their problem. They're a child. Let them be a child. When they start school, it's important for kids to be excited about learning, to be excited about reading, being in the classroom with their friends. Get excited for them and with them. Don't park your kid in front of the TV, in front of an Xbox, and let that take care of your child. No. Take your kids to the library, watch TV with them, interact with them. If you are homeschooling, and I know a lot of parents that homeschool, and this, again, totally pisses me off. Well, they're homeschooling. Well, the kid's only doing the classwork, the homework, whatever you want to call it, for maybe an hour a day. And other than that, the kid's playing. They're online with friends doing whatever online games kids do. Because the parents are overwhelmed. The parents have their own problems. They're on the phone with their friends or family. No, you have taken on the responsibility of educating your child. That's big. That's a responsibility. Don't be lazy. And it just pisses me off. I know families, several families, the kids are 8, 9 years old and they can barely read. They cannot tell time. They cannot look at a clock and tell time. They're not really good with a digital clock for that matter. No, they can't write their name. By the time they're 8, 9 years old, that's 3rd, 4th grade level. They should be reading books on their own, doing their own book reports. Stop being a lazy parent. If you agree to have a child, that child is your priority for the next 18 years. Not your friends, not Netflix, not the game. That child is your priority, taking care of that child. Feeding, clothing, nurturing, educating. That child is your responsibility. The kids in school. Parent-teacher conferences, book reports, projects, recitals, the game, on and on and on. Some parents don't give a damn. They don't care. Yeah, whatever. I don't know if they're doing their homework. I assume they're doing their homework. Yeah, I think I saw something come up, because from my understanding, the schools now have internet communication with parents. And yeah, they may or may not see the email. Yeah, I think I saw whatever. If you want your child to succeed, be excited about their life. Be excited about that book report, what they're reading, what they're doing, what they're learning. They're your priority, not your friends. Your job is important. Of course, your job is important. But when you come home from work, that's the priority. You brought the child into the world. The child is your priority. When you get home from work, it's all about the kids. It's all about the family. It can be a lot. It can be overwhelming. But you brought the child into the world. The child did not volunteer to come into the world. You brought the child into the world. You have to accept responsibility, accountability. If the child is failing in school, look at yourself. Look at your spouse. Look at the family dynamic. What's going on? Are you nurturing the child? Are you going to the library every week? There are libraries in existence. Are you doing homework together? Are you talking about the books they're reading? Helping them, and I don't mean doing it for them, helping them with their projects and their book reports. Helping them study. Teaching them good study habits. And just because you didn't have those growing up doesn't mean you can't instill them in your child. Because your child is worthy. Honey, you were worthy. If you had lazy parents, I'm sorry. Your child is worthy of greatness. And that greatness has to start with you believing in them and teaching them to believe in themselves. Teaching them to know that they matter. Their thoughts, their opinions, their ideas, their work matters. So now you have a child, an older child that's in high school, that's maybe in college. That's wonderful because we all need that foundation. A lot of families don't care if the kids finish high school. Everybody needs an education. I'm sorry. They need to finish 12 years of learning. If for some reason they can't, because, there are kids that are in horrific accidents, girls that get pregnant, and for whatever reason, they're not going to finish and graduate with their class, fine, get the GED. Do not put it off. Get the GED. Get it. There are online courses you can do this. There's no reason you cannot take online courses. So many courses now are free. Even for, I don't know what they call it. I guess you would call it higher learning. There may not be college level courses, but there's a lot of online courses that you can take to better yourself, to learn a trade. Because everybody needs to work. Some people were made to be mommies and daddies, and they're stay-at-home parents, and I love that because that is the absolute hardest job on the planet. And they don't turn on the TV and park the kid in front of the TV to watch Captain Kangaroo or whatever it is nowadays. They're involved with that child's life all day, every day, and that's amazing. I love that. Teach them good work ethics, good study habits. Teach them that education matters. I have my day job, but I still have my trauma therapy practice. I have several clients that are retired professional athletes, and they have educations. They went to college because now, due to injury, they're not playing ball anymore. They had to have something to fall back on. Thank God they had an education. I have 3 Grammy-winning recording artists that are clients with college educations. Because what if something happens to their voice? It happens. It happens. Be prepared for the unexpected. Always have a plan B and a plan C. You have to have a backup plan. And that backup plan needs to include an education. Even if it's just a 2-year associate degree at a junior college, you need that. You need that. And for those that they're just not college kids, that's okay. Votex, learn a trade, carpentry, woodworking, landscaping, nursing. For those that don't want to do what I did and go to college and get, the 4-year, get your LPN. I had to stop and think what it was called. Do that. Paramedics, EMTs. We need these people in our lives. Do it. Do it. Just think about it. You need a plan A and a plan B. Because I see a lot of families, and it's generational laziness. Their grandparents really didn't care what the parents did. The parents kind of raised themselves. And now you have a generation of babies having babies that don't know what else to do other than make babies and play Xbox and talk on the phone and watch Netflix. Stop being lazy, because you are worthy of a great life. Honey, that has to start with you. You are worthy. Decide you're worthy, and you're going to make it happen. This year, you're making it happen. I work with people all day in a very busy law firm, and we are busy. We are very busy. Going to brag just a tiny bit. People will disagree, but I promise you, we are the largest law firm in Arizona, the largest personal injury law firm. We are that busy. We're in Tucson. We're in Phoenix. We're all over. We're branching out to New Mexico. We are all over. We are busy. We are industrious. Last night, my boss was texting me. We were communicating and emailing about a client, 9:30 last night. That does not bother me. With my position with a law firm, my work cell phone, I am on call 24/7 with the firm. That's part of my job. I accept that responsibility. I embrace that because I make a difference. I'm not saying I'm the be-all, end-all, but I knew coming in what my responsibilities were to the firm, and I am living up to that. Everybody that works at our firm has responsibilities. Everybody that works has responsibilities to your employer, to your clients, to your patients. Take that seriously. It's not a joke. And that, when people, we all laugh and have a good time at work. You have to. I love the people I work with. I absolutely cherish every single one of them. And our clients are the best. I love the people I get to know every day because I get to make a difference in their life. And it really offends me when people have a lackadaisical attitude. Oh, whatever. Not my problem. When you're at work, honey, it's your problem. It is. When your boss, don't care what line of work you are in, when your boss comes to you and says, have you done XYZ? Don't make an excuse. Don't make a face. Do it. If they want you to change something, do something differently. Maybe they're starting new protocols for this year. Embrace it. Okay, let's give it a whirl. See what happens. Maybe you've done it differently your entire life, and now they're changing it. Maybe you have a new manager that's making changes, and you don't like that. Well, until you're in that position of authority, learn to like it. Give them a shot. Let them make the changes. You can make suggestions. You can sit down with them and tell them, now, I do it this way. Can we merge the two? Can we find a way to make it work this way? Just communicate. But don't be lazy. We all check our phone during the day. And, because everybody's entitled to, a 15-minute break, 10 or 15-minute break in the morning and in the afternoon, and however long for lunch. I don't pay attention to that. I am busy during the day. I may or may not take a break. I may get up and get another cup of coffee. I may check my phone to see if I have any messages. I'm not paying attention. I eat. I try to grab something to eat. On Fridays, yesterday, I went to Manuel's and I took myself to a wonderful lunch because I am worthy and I deserve it. 45 minutes, I'm back in the office, no big deal. I get an hour for lunch. I'm always there early. It's okay. I love my job. I give 110% at work. And now this is just my philosophy. If you treat your staff well, you respect them, you pay them well, you recognize their accomplishments. Even if you just send them an email and say, hey, good job on, sorry, my eyes are itching. I have a hair in my eye. Even if you just send them an email and say, hey, good job on XYZ. You did a great job on your shift this morning. Whatever. People need to hear that. They cherish that. Tell your kids you appreciate them. Tell your coworkers you appreciate them. Tell your staff you appreciate them. Don't just buy them pizza. Tell them individually, I appreciate you. That means so much. Tell your boss you appreciate them. It matters. Don't be lazy. If you have a job, do your job, take it seriously, give it 110%. If you don't and you're fired, whose fault is that? Were you really paying attention at your job? Were you doing your job? Were you coming in on time? Were you saying you were coming in on time and not coming in on time? During the day, were you actually doing your work and not just on the phone to people, personal issues, on the phone to family? Were you missing a lot of work because you just didn't want to be at the office and it just happened to happen on Monday, or you just happened to get sick on Friday? Think about it. Think about it. Stop being lazy. And relationships. People get lazy in relationships. I've said this so many times. In a relationship, one of three things happens. You grow together, you grow apart, you grow stagnant. So, you have to work at it. Any relationship, I don't care if it's with a sibling, if it's with your best friend, if it's with your spouse or significant other, you have to work at it. You have to nurture it. You have to feed it. And it's okay to have, if you're in a relationship, to have your autonomy, to have your own interests and your own likes and your own friends, but still come back to each other at the end of the day and do stuff together. You may like, to go to the gym, and they like to go for a run. But at the end of the day, you're together watching the game. You're going out to dinner. You're just spending time, the two of you. And that's okay, because you can have your individual interests and still come together as a team, as a couple. That's okay. My friends and I, we've been friends forever. We all have different interests, and that's great. I love hearing about what they do. May not be what I'm interested in, but I love hearing about it. I love hearing when they get promotions, or when they're appointed to department heads, when they're made partner at a law firm. I love that. When they, when I find out they've got their year bonus and it was huge, I am so proud of them because I know they've worked hard. That's how you nurture the friendship. I'm proud of you. Let's celebrate. Don't be jealous of them. Lift them up, nurture them, be proud of them. If you're in a relationship and you find yourselves growing apart, I know a lot of couples are just, they may have been married 25, 30, 40 years, and they are just roommates. They love each other as people. They're not in love anymore. That's dangerous. That's when people start having affairs, emotional affairs, sexual affairs. You need to stir those embers. I want you to remember why you fell in love in the first place. What brought you together? Because so often you forget. You forget about the person that you met 20, 30, 40 years ago that made your heart soar, that made you smile. You couldn't wait to hear their voice. You get lost in work and the kids, community stuff, church stuff. You need to sit down and look back at what brought you together. Stir those embers. Get that fire burning again. It could still be there, but it's up to you. If the relationship is over, let it be over. You entered it as friends. Depart as friends. Just because you're divorcing, you're ending a relationship, does not mean you have to hate each other. There's no reason for that. Respect each other. It didn't work. You tried. Maybe they chose somebody else. Maybe you chose somebody else. It's just, you're done. Okay, you're done. No need for name calling. No need for being ugly and hateful, vengeful. Divide up whatever's there. Sell any community property you can't agree on. Sit down with the kids. Explain to the kids, honestly, truthfully, what's going on. Mommy and Daddy tried. It didn't work. We've tried for a long time. You have friends that used to be your friends and you're not friends anymore, but you still care about them, well, that's the way we are. We're always going to be friends, but not special friends anymore. But we'll always love you. The kids always need to know it's not about them. Their world, other than the housing situation, isn't going to change. You're both still going to love them. You're both still going to make, decisions together on them. Always has to be a united front. Always present yourself as a united front to the kids. But be honest with yourself, because you deserve love and happiness and respect. So, I have bored you now for 26 minutes, and I'm going to stop. I hope I gave you something to think about. Don't be lazy. Don't be a lazy parent, a lazy student, a lazy worker, a lazy friend, a lazy spouse, because you deserve better. I promise you, you deserve better.